Okay, I'm back with the PlayStation 1 games part 2. Let's see, we have a gorgeous copy of Final Fantasy 9. I'm a really big Final Fantasy fan. 9 is probably one of my favorites. Yeah, I don't want to get too hung up on it, so go to Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics is a pretty cool game. It is a strategy game. That whole genre of Final Fantasy game is really cool. I didn't really get into Tactics until I was older. I remember renting it once and not really getting what was going on, but whoever said I was smart. And we have Final Fantasy Origins. I remember I got this game for my 17th birthday. It was really cool. It of course has Final Fantasy the original and Final Fantasy 2. This was of course it's a PlayStation 1 game, and with the new added full motion video cutscene, so that was a pretty cool thing to have at the time. Yeah, in fact, I'm quite crazy when it comes to Final Fantasy, so once we get to my PSP games, you'll see that I do still have another copy of Final Fantasy 2. Well, whatever. Here we have the Final Fantasy Chronicles, which included Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger. Don't ask me why they put Chrono Trigger on a Final Fantasy Chronicles game, but, it's still pretty cool because, it is Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Trigger is an awesome game. So is Final Fantasy 4. But the fact that they didn't put 3 up there is still at least a sore point with me, because it makes sense that happened in the first place, but whatever. Here we have Final Fantasy Anthology, which includes Final Fantasy 5 and 6, and that's pretty cool with the the new full motion videos and whatnot. To me, the ones for 5 just look silly and out of place, and they don't really match with the game, but whatever, what can you do? And I'm pretty sure it's hard to make Amano's artwork look good with the full motion, but they tried their best. Let's see. Here is a copy of Final Fantasy 7. Me and my boyfriend somehow have 3 copies of this game. So, I have a copy, he has a copy, and then we have this greatest hits version, which I don't know where the 3rd copy came from, so whatever. We have 3 copies of Final Fantasy 7, just in case we ever lost one. Here's Final Fantasy 8. Like I mentioned beforehand, it is one of my favorite Final Fantasy titles. A lot of people do not appreciate Final Fantasy 8 as much as I do, and we're a small crop of fans. Usually it's the 7 fans that give 8 a hard time, and vice versa, but people, you can't help what's your favorite. So we have Thousand Arms, which was a gift from a very close friend of mine, and it is amazing. This is probably one of the first instances of a dating sim RPG. Now it's just, I know with the Persona series, at least with 3 and 4, it's really popular and common, but this is pretty much where it got started, where you would have to date your female party members with the main character, this goofy guy right here, to make better weapons for the game. Before I get into the Dreamcast games, there was another game in here that is sharing a case. Well, I'm not going to pull it back out, but Crash Bandicoot Warped, remember how I was saying that it was one of the only Crash Bandicoot games that I played? There's actually, in that case, the Crash Team Racing game, which, once again, racing games. Alright, now we're going to go directly into Dreamcast. Here we have Grandia 2, which is probably one of Charles's absolute favorite games. I remember they ported Grandia 2 onto the PlayStation 2, but he refused to get it, so we were finally able to find another copy for the Dreamcast, so that was pretty good. I'm glad we were able to find it, and I'm glad it's now back in his possession, because, you know. Oh god, Sonic Shuffle. Sonic Shuffle is a terrible game. I guess the people at Sonic Team saw how well Mario Party was, and they wanted to do their own game. Oh man, this game is really bad. Me and my friends tried to play it once, and yeah, they say the ultimate party game, but no, it wasn't that fun, and it didn't get anybody enthralled, and I'm really lenient when it comes to bad games, and that one, it takes the cake. Here we have the Sega Smash Pack, which I believe was originally for PCs, and they put it on the Dreamcast. I bought it because it had, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Shining Force, which I love. I love Shining Force. This is one of my favorite RPGs. Streets of Rage 2. Let's see, Revenge of the Shinobi, which I find incredibly difficult. Altered Beast, Phantasy Star 2, and Vector Man. Just about all these games I can play. I mean, I don't really play Wrestle War, you probably can't see that. And Virtual Cop 2. I mean, Virtual Cop 2 is fun, but it wasn't really one of the ones that I grew up with and played. I mean, I didn't acquire a well, was it on CD or Saturn? I don't recall, but I mean, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyways, Sega Swirl, whatever the heck that was, I never played it. But yeah, the worst part about this game is the sounds were all messed up, and you would figure with you know, the system such as the Dreamcast, why would 16-bit games sound so terrible? It was horrible. Here we have Sonic Adventure, the, you know, launch title for the Dreamcast. This game is still really cool and fun to play. I'll never forget the demo where you play the first level and then a killer whale's after you and trying to eat you. Here's another game that has lost its cover. The book, I actually know where it is, but since it doesn't have a front cover, can't really keep it with the game, unfortunately. This, of course, is Sonic Adventure 2. Good game, and it introduced Shadow. I'm a big Sonic fan, but mostly when it comes to the comic books, the games have sort of lost me over the years. This is NFL 2K. This is, like I said, both me and my boyfriend, we have a lot of football games because we like football. Yeah, I think this actually came with my Dreamcast when I bought it. Space Channel 5. I mean, really, this game is awesome. I remember thinking that it was something else, but was pleasantly surprised when it was an amazing rhythm game that is just addictive and fun and just so poppy. I love Space Channel 5. And here we have Project Justice, the elusive sequel to Rival Schools. Yeah, Rival Schools sequel in the States only made it onto the Dreamcast, much to a lot of fans' dismay, but luckily for me, I had a Dreamcast. So, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video there, and thank you for sticking around.